Dear students, welcome to lesson number 10, Corporate Social Responsibility. Learn about the need for corporate social responsibility, define the concept of corporate citizenship, understand the importance of community relations, explain global competitive marketing environment, analyze the role of corporate public relations and social responsibility. Corporate social responsibility, that is CSR, is giving back to the society. It is a concept with many interpretations and typical economic, social and environmental dimensions. It has been promoted among business, governments and other stakeholders. The roots of CSR lie in philanthropic activities such as donations, charity, relief work, etc. of corporations. Now the concepts such as corporate citizenship, strategic philanthropy, shared value, corporate sustainability, business responsibility, ethical business, etc. are associated with it. Although responsible companies had already existed for more than a century before, the term corporate social responsibility was officially coined in 1953 by an American economist, Howard Bowen, in his publication Social Responsibilities of the Businessman. As such, Bowen is often referred to as the father of corporate social responsibility. Corporate citizenship, community relations and social audit are the important forces that shaped up today's CSR concept. Amendments to the Companies Act 2013 makes CSR mandatory for all companies with a specified turnover and a specified net profit. The companies will have to spend at least 2% of their 3 years average profit every year on corporate social responsibility. In the context of growing importance of CSR, apart from the profit and loss of the companies, the contribution of corporates to the society's communities is seriously considered in the evaluation of performance of companies over the years. The mass media also play an important role in disseminating information about CSR activities of companies. CSR programs help society as well as business organizations. Corporate social responsibility, in a simple way, any action that a company takes to give back to the society. It is the idea that a company should be a good neighbor and think about how its actions will affect the environment and the people. The responsibilities of a corporate are broadly: number 1, environmental responsibility; number 2, ethical responsibility; number 3, philanthropic responsibility; and number 4, economic responsibility. CSR is a self-regulating business model that helps a company to be socially accountable to itself, its stakeholders and the public. By practicing CSR, companies can be conscious of the kind of impact they are having on all aspects of the society, including economic, social and environmental. Engaging in CSR means that in the ordinary course of business, a company is operating in ways that enhance society and the environment instead of contributing negatively to them. According to the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, corporate social responsibility is a management concept whereby companies integrate social and environmental concerns in their business operations and the interactions with their stakeholders. Bowen defined CSR as a set of obligations of businessmen to pursue their policies, to make their decisions or to follow their lines of action which are desirable in terms of the objectives and values of societies. Davis, on the other hand, defined that CSR refers to the firm's consideration of and response to issues beyond the narrow economic, technical, and legal requirements of the firm. ILO, that is International Labour Organization, redefined CSR as a way that enterprises consider the impact of their operations on society, and CSR principles are integrated in enterprises' internal processes and interactions with stakeholders on a voluntary basis. EC, European Commission, defined CSR as the responsibility of enterprises for their impacts on society, which indicates that enterprises should have a process in place to integrate CSR agenda into their operations and core strategies in close cooperation with stakeholders. World Business Council for Sustainable Development explained CSR as a balance of return on financial, natural, and social capitals, particularly suggesting the integration of CSR reporting into the annual report. As already said, in simple, CSR is giving back to the society. CSR is described as a company's efforts to improve the society in some way. This is an integral part of the business strategy and corporate identity. It aims at the all-round social, cultural, and economic development of both their workforce and community. In order to have a cordial and a give and take relationship with the workforce and community as well, the corporate bodies have proposed that instead of striving only for larger returns to its shareholders, as a responsible enterprise should take into account the interests of employees, suppliers, dealers, local communities, and the nation as a whole. They realized that the CSR could help build and sustain the morale of workforce and also attract them to retain with the firms. The corporate bodies also realized that the CSR, with its goodwill and corporate image, could help them to solve any problem which couldn't be solved even by the government regulations. In India, Jamshedji Tata is considered to be the pioneer of CSR. About 100 years back itself, he described the CSR as wealth that comes from the people, as far as possible, must go back to the people. It is against this background of this philosophy, the Tata Group of companies have established the Tata Council for Community Initiatives and taken up many community works. They have built a big township in Jamshedpur in Bihar. Similarly, the Aditya Birla Group, ONGC, IOCL, NTPC, BHEL, HCL, and Mahindra and many other major corporates have initiated several CSR projects in their area of operation to help serve the community. A corporate organization is a corporate citizen. As in the case of an individual citizen, corporate citizen has similar legal and moral responsibilities towards the needs of the society. Corporate citizenship is therefore about the contribution that a corporation makes to the society through its core business activities. Corporate citizenship is a recognition that a business corporation has social, cultural, and environmental responsibility towards the community. It is an idea which has both practical and ethical dimensions. It suggests a two-way relationship between the corporation and the society which are focused towards meeting community needs. In fact, business organizations and the community have a relationship with one thriving on the other. Community relations play an important role in building up a good PR image because community is a neighbor. Whether a neighbor is good or bad, it is dependent upon the relationships that one maintains. It is always desirable to have a friendly neighborhood. The very nature of operations of business organizations, whether they are in public sector or private sector, make them community oriented. In the case of public sector, one of its objectives is to set up industrial units in backward areas to subserve the cause of developing them. In the case of private sector, the government encourages the setting up of new units in notified backward areas with subsidies and incentives. Thus, both public and private sectors show a definite propensity towards backward areas. As the industrial units come up, they improve the lifestyles of the community by fulfilling several of their needs. If the accounts of a company were audited by a firm of chartered accountants and certified to be in order, the activities of the company shall have to be audited also by the society in which it is operating. Social audit means that anything what an organization does in open for scrutiny by the society at large. In other words, the activities of an organization must be compatible with that of the society and cannot transgress social limits. Society is not an amorphous entity. Society, like community, consists of individuals. Whatever that is compatible with individuals' interest becomes socially relevant, and working within those social parameters, fulfilling social norms and withstanding scrutiny by the society can broadly be explained as social audit. Passing the social audit test means the corporate got the acceptance of the society. There are several areas where public relations can be of immense use in corporates. Those areas are: number 1, industrial public relations; number 2, customer public relations; number 3, employee relations; number 4, stockholder or shareholder relations; number 5, public relations in sales promotion; number 6, government and legislature relations; number 7, trade relations; 8, community relations; 9, corporate social responsibility. Sam Black, in his book Practical Public Relations, mentioned 2 objectives of corporate PR: to establish contact and maintain relations with all the concerned publics, and number 2, to promote the organization's products and services. The public sector, while competing with private sector, has to fulfill a social need and also offer ideal conditions of work and welfare of employees as also the communities connected. Its commitment to discharge its public obligation and social good makes it difficult to run it purely on commercial lines. Thus, losses to some extent are endemic in the very nature of the public sector, which has to undertake public utility services, production of items of strategic importance, etc. The public sector PR strives to project not only the individual public sector organizations concerned, but also the philosophy behind the establishment of public sector undertakings. As public relations tends to flow over the whole gamut of business and industry, it has a notable part to play in all its spheres in private sector too. The conservative economist Milton Friedman, in his article A Social Responsibility of Business, that was published in New York Times in 1970, he has argued that the task and responsibility of business is to increase profits and that it has no business to spend shareholders' money on social problems. But Peterson and Post extended the responsibility to the organization's concerns with the consequences of its activities on others. Thus, they included items like pollution, product hazards, or discrimination in employment in CSR. In fact, law makes it obligatory on the part of the company to erect pollution preventing apparatus or effluent treatment plants at its cost and makes it liable for production of substandard or hazardous products. Keith Davis and Robert Blamstorm, in their book Business and Society, not only upheld the aforesaid two kinds of social obligations, but also wanted the company to help solve general social problems which are not connected with the organizations. Almost all corporations accept their social responsibility today. As already discussed, community relations and social audit are the two important aspects that corporates will ensure compliance. Corporates believe that the CSR enhances their relationships with their stakeholders. Therefore, CSR has become a part of corporate strategy because CSR can bring a visible change in the following areas. A. It enhances public image. CSR helps improve good relations with the corporate's publics, both internal and external. The corporate philanthropy and commitment to the social cause would increase the chances of getting favorable image in the eyes of the stakeholders. B. It increases media coverage. With strong and good CSR programs, the corporate unit gets the chances of positive media coverage. The local media extends outright support for the good CSR activities of a company that benefits community at large. It also helps to maintain good media relationship which would benefit any company in the long run. C. It boosts employee relations. CSR helps attract and retain honest, valuable, hardworking and productive employees. The employees feel proud and appreciate their company's dedicated CSR policy. Good employees relations also help enhance the image of the company. D. It attracts and retains investors. Investors continue to support companies that demonstrate commitment to social causes and that impact the lives of the others. E. It serves as a source of revenue. CSR initiatives help as a source of revenue for non-profit organizations. Therefore, the CSR initiatives helping the business houses in several ways to grow and win the goodwill and loyalty of the publics, besides enhanced features of the corporate brand, improve employees' commitment and boost up their morale, etc. India has a rich tradition of CSR charity and philanthropy. Culture, religion, family values and industrialization had an influential effect on CSR in India. If you look at the development of CSR in India, it has gone through 4 phases. They are: phase 1, pre-industrialization period. In the pre-industrialization period, which lasted till 1850, wealthy merchants helped the society by providing them food, shelter, particularly during cyclones, famines or epidemics. They also shared their wealth by setting up places of worship for various religions. However, after the colonial rule since 1850, the approach towards CSR has changed. The industrial families of the 19th century such as Tata, Godrej, Bajaj, Modi, Birla, Singhania, etc. have generously contributed to the community in the areas of their operation. Phase 2, during the independence movement. In this period, Mahatma Gandhi has introduced the concept of trusteeship and appealed to all the industrial leaders to help the common man in the society as part of philanthropy. Gandhi said, "I desire to end capitalism almost, if not quite, as much as the most advanced socialist, but our methods differ. My theory of trusteeship is no makeshift, certainly no camouflage. I am confident that it will survive all other theories." This theory has helped considerably for the socio-economic development of the Indian society. Phase 3, after the independence. In this period, the public sector units were encouraged rather than private sector. The public sector unit's activity is limited to certain extent towards its community development. This led to shift of expectation from the public to the private sector, and their active involvement in the socio-economic development of the country became absolutely necessary. Phase 4, after 1980. During this phase, the Indian companies started an integrated and sustainable CSR strategy. Since 1990, with the introduction of globalization, privatization and economic liberalization, we call it LPG reforms, many corporate units in private and public sectors have been involved voluntarily in serving the community in their own way. Many corporate units, through their CSR activities, are in competition to maximize their overall impact on the society and stakeholders. Why any business organization shall consider CSR? This is not about giving freebies to somebody. Business organizations often say that CSR has helped them in many ways to have cordial relations with the stakeholders in the area of their operations. The business organizations that are implementing the CSR successfully feel that they are getting substantial benefits from their competitors globally. They say that their business organizations have good employee relations and sustainable, healthy society to work in. Thus, the CSR reaps benefits in 3 areas, namely 1. Getting good image for the business organization, 2. Getting good customer relations, goodwill and loyalty, and 3. Improved workforce commitment, good employees relationships and morale boost up. As per the Schedule 7 of Companies Act 2013, these are the following permitted activities. Activity relating to Category 1 are eradicating hunger, poverty and malnutrition, promoting health care including preventive health care, sanitation including contribution to Swachh Bharat Kosh set up by the central government for the promotion of sanitation, making available safe drinking water. In the Category 2, promoting education and employment enhancing vocational skills, especially among children, women, elderly and the differently abled, and livelihood enhancement projects. In Category 3, promoting gender equality, empowering women, setting up homes and hostels for women and orphans, setting up old age homes, daycare centers and such other facilities for senior citizens, measures for reducing inequalities faced by socially and economically backward groups. In Category 4, the permitted activities are ensuring environmental sustainability, ecological balance, protection of flora and fauna, animal welfare, agroforestry, conservation of natural resources, maintaining quality of soil, air and water, including contribution to the Clean Ganga Fund set up by central government for the rejuvenation of river Ganga. In Category 5, protection of national heritage, art and culture, restoration of buildings and sites of historical importance and works of art, setting up public libraries, promotion and development of traditional arts and handicrafts, and in category 6, measures for the benefit of armed forces, veterans, war widows and their dependents. In category 7, training to promote rural sports, nationally recognized sports, Paralympic sports, Olympic sports. Category 8, contribution to Prime Minister's National Relief Fund, any other fund set up by the central government or socio-economic development, and relief and welfare of the SCs and STs and BCs, for minorities, for women. For brand image of an organization, employees play a key role in CSR activities. Employees would act as brand ambassadors for the company. They provide a most powerful communications channel with all the communities, consumers, financial groups, government and other stakeholders. What they say about their company and its offerings could definitely have a great impact on company's brand equity than any major advertising campaign. If the employees convince and understand the core value of the program, then they would communicate to all concerned accurately and correctly. The better informed the employees or the more effective they are at communicating about the organization's CSR activities. This is also an opportunity for employees to feel a greater sense of involvement and identification with the CSR initiatives of the corporates. Now, public relations and corporate social responsibility. There is a close link between CSR and PR. Corporate image is more important for any business organization, and PR is the best weapon to handle the image problem. PR affects everyone in the community. Doing good and getting credit for the effort is the PR. It chiefly concerns human relations and it is a two-way process. It aims at the building up of clear, correct, true impression of an organization. PR stands between the corporation and the society, and it is often described as that of a person in the middle and bridges the communication gap. PR in CSR plays a dual role. PR communicates to the targeted audience about the CSR programs on one hand and identifies the different community needs and requirements like need of education facilities, drinking water, medical and health facilities and so on, and bring it to the notice of the management on the other hand. The later role of PR helps the management to make up sustainable CSR programs. It is the responsibility of the public relations and corporate communications department of a company to guide and assist the management in implementation of CSR activities. An organization's relationship with its community is very important as it supplies its workforce and meets its essential services like power, water supply, etc. Without public acceptance, no corporate unit can realize its full potential. The goodwill of the people who live in the vicinity of the organization is essential and must be earned. In fact, there is a strong relationship between a corporate organization and the community. Hence, the need to maintain community relations and the necessity to pass the social audit. The benefits of CSR to the society are organize cultural programs, sponsor musical nights, sponsor sports and games, train budding sports talent, planting of new saplings, arrange tree gods during rainy season, free eye checkup camps, free cataract operations and supply spectacles to old and the needy, free diabetic, dental, AIDS or HIV, cancer detecting camps, seminars, symposia on many social awareness campaigns, conduct or sponsor art exhibitions, sponsor free food packets and gifts in orphanages, hospitals to mark May Day or Independence Day, supply woolen blankets to old age homes, set up cool drinking water facility in bus shelters, institution of awards, scholarships, and starting of educational institutions, hospitals, etc. CSR prescriptions are meant to develop the society and help in transferring excess capital from the haves to have-nots via the specified activities. CSR generates direct and indirect business benefits and advantages to the corporates. They are increased employee loyalty and their retention, attracts and retain investors, gaining legitimacy and access to markets, less litigation, increased quality of products and services, boost favorable public image and reputation, enhance brand value, less volatile stock value, avoiding state regulation, increased customer loyalty, helps to maintain good media relations, etc. The need and importance of CSR has increased manifold because of changing corporate world. Corporations have accepted the importance of CSR, that it enhances their relationships with their stakeholders. As such, the CSR has become a part of their corporate strategy. CSR helps attract and retain honest, valuable, hard-working and productive employees. The employees feel proud and appreciate their company's dedicated CSR policy. Good employees relationship helps enhance the image of the company. The business organizations that are implementing the CSR successfully feel that they are getting substantial benefits from their competitors globally. They say that their business organizations have good employee relations and sustainable healthy society to work in. The community at large and the corporate organizations have symbiotic relationship. One depends on the other. The community provides to a corporate organization the required land, workforce, water, transport facility, electricity, and so on. Similarly, corporate organizations provide to the community like capital investment, ample employment opportunities to the local talent, new facilities and products, education, sports and games, common basic amenities like roads, water, sanitation, health facilities, etc. Thus, the community and the corporate organizations look to each other for support and sustenance. Nurturing of this relationship is the job of a public relations officer or corporate communications manager of the organization.